Hi my little dears, in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about living with anxiety disorders and panic attacks. I wanted to do this video because I think it's really important to kind of get the message across about these difficulties that people can face in life, and hopefully some helpful tips and kind of sources that you can go to if you're struggling with this disorder. Anxiety is a normal human emotion. Obviously people can counter it in their day-to-day lives, but there is a difference between feeling anxious and having an anxiety disorder. Anxiety disorders can cause such distress that it enables someone's everyday life. It is a serious mental illness, and people with this disorder constantly feeling overwhelmed and anxious basically. There are like different types of anxiety disorders, and anxiety disorder kind of goes hand in hand with panic attack. People with this condition have a feeling of terror that can strike suddenly with no apparent reason at all. It is an overwhelming worrying and self-consciousness in everyday life in social situations. So many people with this disorder can feel judged for how they present themselves. And there's specific phobias, so people being in fear of objects, places, people. And then there's generalized anxiety disorder, which there can be different levels of, like lower and then higher level of anxiety, which is just basically feeling anxious in everyday life about everything basically. The symptoms of anxiety disorder can include feelings of panic, fear, uneasiness, problems sleeping, cold or sweaty hands, shortness of breath, heart palpitations, dry mouth, numbness, and that's just a few. There are a lot more. A lot of studies have gone into anxiety disorders, and the cause is unknown, but it is thought to be a variety of different environmental factors combined. Panic attack is a sudden episode of intense fear that triggers severe physical reactions when there is no real dangers or apparent cause. It's kind of similar symptoms of anxiety disorder, just kind of like times 100 in my case anyway. I just wanted to talk about my story with anxiety disorder and panic attacks. I have been diagnosed by professionals a long time ago for having a low level of anxiety. I just have generalized anxiety disorder, so that means that I basically just feel anxious about certain things, and I always feel like something bad's gonna happen. It's very hard to live with because I don't feel confident enough to do things most of the time, because I just feel like something's bad's gonna always happen with everything. I do have panic attacks as well. They started about 3 or 4 years ago, which I'll get into, like why I started getting them, basically why I think I started getting them. Really bad when I first started getting them. I was getting them probably once every few days, and then it kind of slowed down to once every few months, and then I think the longest that I've gone without having one is about 6 months, which is really good. I remember the first time I had a panic attack, I was actually at the movie theatres, and nothing really triggered it. I was just so built up with anxiety and negative feelings and emotions that my body just couldn't cope, and I don't even kind of remember what happened, but something little just happened and my body just kind of snapped and I had a panic attack, and it was not fun at all. I was in a big crowded cinema. I didn't know what was happening to me. Started getting really fast heartbeat. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see properly. I felt like I was going to vomit. I felt like I was going to faint. Because I didn't know what it was, because I didn't know anything about panic attacks, I thought I was dying, and that's no exaggeration. I thought I was dying. I thought something was going on, that I was having a heart attack or something, and it lasted a really long time. I want to say when I started getting them, it was about half an hour. Now when I do get them, it's about 5-10 minutes, because I've learnt to calm myself down. So the reason that I think that I sort of have anxiety, a very bad emotional upbringing, I'm not really going to go into it, but that's basically it. And then when I started getting panic attacks is when I moved to Adelaide. A member of my family that I was very, very close to basically became very abusive emotionally, and it took a big toll on me. Now the reason I don't get them as often anymore and my anxiety is kind of like under control, is I've removed myself from that situation of talking to that person, of being emotionally abused. And I know that's really hard for some people that are in the same situation as me, but that's basically what I've had to do to get better. And I wanted to tell you some tips that I had on how I've kind of like became better at handling or living with anxiety disorder and panic attacks. So if I'm feeling particularly anxious one day, which happens often, I'll just have a me day. So I'll remove myself from the situation or whatever's making me super anxious, and I'll have a me day. I'll do some things that I enjoy. I'll cook, I'll clean, listen to good music, I'll do some artwork, watch a TV show. And if I can't do that, like I have to be somewhere, uni or whatever, I'll just take it slow, you know. I'll kind of keep to myself. I will listen to music. I'll try and calm myself down and just keep my mind off what's making me anxious. That's kind of the key. So when I am getting a panic attack, I'll try and focus on my breathing. I'll also kind of count to 5 or 10 just to calm myself down, focus on my breathing. I'll try and get some fresh air away from people. I just try and calm myself down as much as I can, and I tell myself, right, Amber, you're having a panic attack. It's going to be okay. You're not dying. You'll be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to go in a minute. And that usually works for me, and I don't want to say that it's going to work for everyone, but this is just my personal experience of what's worked with me. So yeah, that is the video. I just wanted to get the message across to people that might be going through similar things as me, to know that you're not alone, and mental illness is really, really important. You know, you need to have a support of family, friends, and go see someone if you're going through these things. Even if you don't have anxiety, if you're just having a bad time in life, or depression, or just any other mental illness, or if you don't have a mental illness, go see someone. Is so important. So I'm going to link in the description below some websites that you can go to if you live in Australia. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.